lovelies, and welcome back to Chrissy Cooking at Home. Surprise, surprise, I'm Chrissy. If you saw any of my last 3 videos, you know that I was pregnant. I have delivered a beautiful baby girl who's a little fussy in her sleep. I delivered early by C-section. She developed severe intrauterine fetal growth restriction. She stopped growing at about 34 weeks gestation. I had her at 37 weeks, and she weighed 5 pounds, 5 ounces, and she was 18 and a half inches long. She is thriving in this last month since she's been born. She's gaining weight. She's doing all normal stuff that a baby her age does. And she's grown a little bit. So she's no longer in preemie clothes. She's fitting in newborn and some of the 0 to 3 month. She's doing great. She came out with beautiful hair and it's turning blonde. She has beautiful blue eyes like her daddy and her big brother, who you met in the last video that was posted right after I was put on bed rest. She's perfect. I just keep looking at her. So I turn my head. I'm looking at the baby. We named her Nellie Elizabeth. Nellie was my great-grandmother's name. She taught me to bake at a very young age and got me into cooking. She passed away when I was 22. Elizabeth is for one of my grandmothers, one of her daddy's grandmothers, so 2 great-grandmothers to her. And Al had always admired Queen Elizabeth I in history, so her middle name's kind of like threefold, which is kind of cool. But Nellie, straight from my great-grandmother. Honestly, I am so anxious to get back in the kitchen. I want to cook and bake and can. We used up almost all the food I had canned before I was put on bed rest, which was a lot. I canned a lot in those few months before I got pregnant, and the first trimester I canned quite a bit because I was doing great that first trimester. I was feeling good, and then second trimester hit, and it knocked me down, and then the third trimester knocked me further. But doing a bit better every day. The C-section was easy enough itself because, you don't feel anything waist down. Not really waist down, but more like chest down. I didn't even feel that tugging and pulling they always talk about. I just felt the table moving as the nurses and the doctors were working on me, getting her out. The day before, she had been head down, and in less than 12 hours, when I went in for the C-section, she had flipped. She was breech. That surprised him. So Al said they pulled her out by an arm and a leg because he was peeking around the camera, the curtain, watching. He said it was like some kind of Aztec ritual, the way the surgeon had pulled her out and was holding her up by an arm and a leg before passing her to the other surgeon so they could clamp and cut the cord. So she's doing great. She's doing everything that she should be doing. She passed every test they threw at her in the hospital. We were released a day early because they pumped me full of steroids the minute they pulled her out. So I was doing well. She's smiling in her sleep. She's so cute. So yeah, just every day I'm grateful to be alive and that she's alive and that we're here with my son Logan and with my sweetheart Al. It was a little rough and a little scary at times. Probably wondering what this is if you're not familiar. It's a Holter heart monitor thingy. About middle of the second trimester, I started having episodes of low blood pressure. So low I would pass out a few times. I'd have to go to the hospital, or it would happen while at the doctor's office doing many tests that they did to monitor her and I. And it'd be triaged right there, with floods of people coming in. The lowest I have been blood pressure wise without passing out was 71/35. So, extremely low blood pressure. On a good day, I have been maintaining around 100/60-ish, like average. So we're doing a Holter monitor for 2 weeks to see if we can start to piece together why this is happening, because they couldn't figure it out while I was pregnant, and then the two different specialty LBs just said it will stop once I deliver. And I didn't have any episodes for the first couple of weeks after I delivered, and then they started happening. And it's just as sporadic as when I was pregnant with her. So my primary is not screwing around. He ordered the Holter monitor. Gonna keep it on for 2 weeks. That's the maximum that I can do. Hoping it'll start to put puzzle together, and we can figure out why this is happening, what's causing it, and develop a treatment plan. I just hope it's not my neurological condition that's causing issues with my heart, because your brain controls everything. Your involuntary functions, like, you'd have no control over. Your brain, central nervous system, controls everything. So it's a little scary, especially when I would pass out from the low blood pressure. And man, they ran a lot of tests. I was monitored very closely. That's how they caught her sudden intrauterine fetal growth restriction, because at 33 weeks gestation, she was 44th percentile for size, for growth. And then at 37 weeks, when they did the next ultrasound, she was in the 1 percentile. So she'd stopped growing about a week after the previous ultrasound before that one. But now that she's out of the womb, she's thriving. She's amazing. She's beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna wear this for a couple of weeks, and in a couple of weeks, my OB should be able to release me to do things I love, which is cooking, baking, canning, galore, and then also go walking. I didn't put on a whole lot of weight with her. I lost a lot of weight after having her, and I put half of it back on in the last week and a half. I have no idea what's going on. That's probably hormone related. So, I mentioned before I had weight loss surgery, so I have a VSG done. So it's a sleeve. So I can only eat so much. So lack of sleep because of newborn baby. Coffee. Death Wish. Love Death Wish coffee. Because of my many health conditions, the doctors and I, mainly the doctors, convinced me to do a C-section. Her original due date was May 7th. They scheduled a C-section for May 4th. They were not waiting because of her severe intrauterine fetal growth restriction. So they took her early on April 21st. And then after that, my neurologist and my primary put me back on all my meds. So she is formula fed, because fed is best. George would have been 21 this July. If you've seen any of the other videos, my oldest passed away almost 5 years ago this coming July. And then Logan, who is now the middle child, is 12. And now we have Nellie. So I kind of spaced my kids. Yeah. I am 40 years old, and I never thought at 40 I would have a brand new newborn baby. My mom was 40 when I made her grandma with my son George. So crazy. Well, she was 41, but still, she was 40 when I got pregnant, 41 when I had him. But it's crazy. I love being a mommy so much, and she is my last one for sure. Since the IUD went missing, and that's why I got pregnant with her. I had them remove my fallopian tubes. No more babies for me. I am permanently sterilized. She's perfect. She completes our big family picture. She's the missing piece that we didn't know was missing. So we were very happy to have her. And Logan is just the best big brother. He's very protective. He's very loving. He helps take care of her a lot. So I have a good support system. Sweetheart got to do 3 weeks full pay paternity leave. And then if he chooses, he can do up to 12 weeks of paternity leave at 65% pay. So depending on what's going on with my heart, he may use that. He's got a full year to use it at any time up to, it's up to her first birthday. And he doesn't have to do all 12 weeks at once. He can do it sporadic. It's really cool. So I will be back to cooking. This is Chrissy cooking at home, so I will be back to cooking soon. Probably have a baby strapped to my chest with one of those baby carriers because she's a snuggler. Did you hear my cat? One of my cats is a very loud meow. He walks around just meowing. He meowed at the bunny. The bunny just came running over to me. Ugh. Full guard, don't eat my yarn. The bunny likes to chomp through my yarn. I made Nellie lots of clothes. Not lots, but quite a bit of clothing while I was on bed rest. And I'm working on another one. She's so tiny. This is a dress. I follow some crocheters on YouTube. I love this one, the way it looked in the video. She's fussing in her sheep. She's okay. She's right next to me. She's a dreamer. You tell him, Nellie. But, yeah. This might fit her in a week or two. I'll try to make it pretty small, but I really wanted to use this yarn. I don't remember the weight of it, but it's such a pretty silver. It's so soft. But I made her several outfits, and the bunny likes to chomp through the yarn while I'm crocheting. Don't you just love the sounds babies make? Newborns, Newborn baby. She's so sweet. Okay, I will share. Miss Nellie Elizabeth, everyone. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting because it is 4:30 in the morning, but her hair is blonde. She has the most beautiful blue eyes. Lighting kind of isn't the greatest. Can't really see that it's blonde. So, pretty cool that I have a baby. I'll cook soon, I promise. Can't wait. Especially canning. Gotta recan a lot of stuff. Come up with some new stuff. But until next time, guys.